Hi, welcome to another episode of Cooking for the Yum of It. Today we're going to be doing something very, very simple, a Paleonnaise, or Paleonnaise. Let's get started. Now the first thing we're going to need to do is separate out 2 egg yolks. The egg whites we can save for something later, like an egg white omelet or scrambled egg whites. But we're going to need the yolk of 2 eggs at more or less room temperature. That's one. Okay, and there we go with 2. Now I'm going to put the egg whites in the refrigerator. And our next ingredient is 1 teaspoon of ground mustard. Now, you have to do this right, or it won't come out right. So, let's put our mustard in there. Next, we go on to 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Let me shake this up a bit. Now, I made this once before, and it was so good. I just knew I had to make it again as soon as I ran out. And believe me, excuse me while I answer the phone. Sorry about that. It was one of those telemarketing calls. Those are so annoying. Okay, now we need a tablespoon of water. Okay, there we go. And let me get my measuring cup. We'll be pouring out, sorry this took so long. We need 1 cup of avocado oil. Now I suppose you could make this with olive oil, but when I first start doing something, I like to follow the recipe as precisely as possible, and before I start experimenting with it. And the recipe calls for avocado oil. I'm really getting into it lately, the avocado oil, and so much so that I went and bought, when I had to go shopping, instead of getting the olive oil that I usually get, I got a big old bottle of avocado oil. Okay. Before we Now, the most important thing to do when making this, we'll be adding half a teaspoon of salt later, but we'll be doing that part after we've finished the emulsification. Now, the thing you need to remember is when you're pouring in the avocado oil, you need to do it very, very slowly. I cannot stress that part enough. If you do it too quickly, it's not going to set, and you'll have, instead of mayonnaise, you're going to have yellowy gloop. So let's turn this on puree, and you won't be hearing me for a while. know how well you can see that. Let me take a look. Oh yeah, that came. Take a look at that, nice and creamy. Now, let me get my salt. We only need half a teaspoon of this. If you don't add the salt, trust me, it comes out really, really bland. You're not going to like it. So back on puree. Now, I'm not going to be putting this on a plate and eating it like I've done my other things. This is mayonnaise, not an actual meal. Scrape down the sides. Now, one thing you'll need to know is that there are no preservatives in this. It's completely natural. So it will have a much shorter expiration date than the... Hold on, let me get this into camera range. As handsome as... Oh! There we go. My tripod came apart for a second there. Okay. But let me just... Oh yeah, that came out good. Now, let's see. Now, as I was saying, because there are no preservatives in it, it won't last as long as the store-bought mayonnaise. Pardon me. So the expiration date will depend on the sell-by date of your eggs. You can find that on the egg carton. Just whatever that date is, don't use the mayonnaise after that. If you have any left over by that point, just throw it out and make some new. So that was how you make Paleonnaise, and I hope you enjoy it. And remember, as I was, I cannot stress enough again to pour the avocado oil in very, very slowly. As long as you do that, everything should work out fine. See you next time. Until then, always remember, eat and enjoy.